International Students Officer. The International Students Officers represent 30% of the student population. They hold drop-ins, support international events, and ensure that international students get the fairest deal while studying at York. They lead the International Students Association, ISA, a student network which enables cultural exchange, addresses welfare issues, and fosters a welcoming community for international students at York.
Hello, I'm Grace, and I'm now joined by Maz and Maryam, who are running for the International Students Officer role. So let's just dive in straight away. My first question is that on your manifesto you propose that the university should reserve accommodation spaces specifically for international students. Now, is this compatible with the rest of your manifesto when you talk about sort of the isolationism that international students might feel? And is this compatible with sort of USO's whole aim of equity and equality? Is this fair?
I think it does kind of maybe combat with a little bit of the inclusivity point, but at the same time, it also is in agreement with that to be like, there should be a certain number of representation and a certain number of seats reserved for international students in, like, say, departments, and then, like, same goes for accommodation, like, just to represent the proportion of the international student population in the accommodation and in that. And it's not like separating them completely in the flats. It's just like, just so people have that option and like they know they have some security in knowing that like there's a certain category available for international students to apply for.
Yeah. So you mentioned representation there. How are you going to ensure that international students are represented? And in what ways do you think that international students potentially aren't represented as much as you'd like currently?
With reference to, again, inclusivity and representation, like you mentioned, having spaces in accommodation, we'd also like there to be spaces specifically for international students with regards to colleges, committees, and departments within the university. So let's say I'm doing linguistics in the linguistics department. In any other department, we'd like for there to be, like how there are department reps and faculty reps, we would like there to be also an international representatives, like a seat for international students to hold those positions, just so international students within those who are doing those degrees, they know that, okay, we have someone that we can approach.
And how are you going to go about implementing this?
We would obviously take it up with departments, we would take it up with colleges, just so that we know that like the university is doing stuff to get, you know, international students represented. Every individual college has the international officer, but we want that to go one step further with departments as well.
Brilliant. Okay. Now on your manifesto you also talk about making a University of York international handbook. Now I'm not sure if you're aware, but that one already does exist, International Student Guide. So how will you ensure that this handbook that you're suggesting that you'll make differs from the existing one?
I think we would, because in my, what we were thinking is when you just arrive over here, you're generally not familiar with how things in England work. When it comes to things like banking, the common student discounts that students who are already here, having done high school here, probably would be aware of. Things like even getting a SIM card, and also like places in and around York that would be helpful towards international students, like places where they can get halal food, for instance, meet their special dietary requirements, international food shops. We would just want to make them more aware of that, just to save them the extra hassle when they first get over here.
Interesting, definitely. And then you also mentioned that you want to host more international club nights. How will you ensure that students who are perhaps more shy or that don't drink are also accommodated for?
It wouldn't be just club nights, where obviously we can have like quizzes and maybe like some treasure hunts or scavenger hunts or just like socials of some kind on a regular basis, and not just focusing on like within colleges, because we know that is a thing and they're doing a great job with that, but it's also to focus on a more like wider university thing, because it is a meet and greet, but like I feel like there should be a wider array of people that you get to meet at these international meetups, because it's just the same people that you get to see over and over again, and some people might want to like expand their social circle.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Marianne and Maz. We're going to hand over to Studio Red now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.